Hello and welcome to Rock Your Block. I'm your host, Tia Young, and today we are going to talk about real estate and find out if we are where we were 9 years ago when it seemed as if the real estate and mortgage industry was on a downside spiral, never to return. Or has the industry turned around and we are on an upswing? To help us figure this out, joining us in the studio today is REMAX Allegiance $1 Million Club member and Diamond Hall of Fame winner, Miss Yetti Esatu. Yetti, welcome to Rock Your Block.
Welcome. Thank you so much, Tia.
Thank you for coming today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to get right into the questions that I have for you. How long have you been in real estate?
I have been in real estate since 2006, 16 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yes, full time.
And have you been in the area, in the DMV area, or
Yes.
were you living somewhere else?
Well, I was living somewhere else, but I moved about 20 years ago from Atlanta, Georgia, down here.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And, yeah.
All right. And before real estate, what were you doing?
I used to own a restaurant when I was in Georgia, and
Ooh,
also a flower
that makes
business.
me hungry.
Oh, yeah, and flower business. And after that, once I moved to the DMV area, I was in the IT field, working for Sprint government division, handling Cisco routers and ATM switches for the government division at Sprint.
Okay, so you've done quite a few things, and they all are a little different from real estate. So what made you decide to go into the real estate business?
Well, I always loved to help people, and I've been in customer service related when I was at Sprint also, before I became a real estate agent. So for me, I love to be the problem solver for people situation, problem that they have, and helping people is in me. It's natural to me. So I like the profession. It's very interesting. It's not boring. So you do learn every day from every transaction.
You told me earlier about your children, and you have children. So tell us about your kids. Do they help you in the business at all? Or are they even old enough to help you?
Well, I have two boys, Abel and Robel.
Okay.
And Abel is 15 right now, and Robel is 12 years old. Yes, in the summertime when they are out of school, they do help me on marketing materials that I'm doing, mailing and putting stamps on the envelopes and writing addresses and, a few things that I need. Yeah, they do
you have to pay them?
Yes, I do.
You do have to pay them?
Yes. Today, kids, they don't do anything unless they get paid.
They get their allowance.
Yes, I do. I want them to learn the value of money too.
Right,
So,
that's good.
Yes,
That
I
is
do.
very important.
Yes.
It's really important. As I was saying at the top of the hour, 9 years ago, everybody was in a panic about the real estate and mortgage industry. It just seemed as if we were imploding and we were never going to get back on our feet. Are we still there, or have we turned a corner?
We turned the corner, and we're at a very good market right now, and it's very competitive, and it requires skills, to educate the consumers.
When you talk about educating the consumers, what do you mean when you say that?
Educating home buying, home selling is very overwhelming because that is not the profession where the consumers are. It is our responsibility to educate the clients from the start to the end, what it takes, to finish up the process.
So let's say I'm a new prospective home buyer.
Yes.
And I've never bought a house before.
Yes.
So I come to you. I'm referred to you by a friend. How would that education process begin with me? What would happen? What would be the first thing that you would do with me?
I will tell you step by step what it takes to start the process. For example, you may not know that you do need a loan, a mortgage application process, that you have to go through. You have to, I will give you a list of loan officers to go and start the process of loan application.
Okay.
And after you get that one, that's when we start going out the property.
So the first step is a loan application.
The loan application.
The loan application.
Through a lender.
Okay.
Yeah, a loan officer, yeah.
Okay, so during that loan application process, Do you talk to me about credit, my credit situation? Do you have to get invasive into my finances and things like that? What is that loan application process like?
No, a realtor is just a person who will take you through the process of picking a property, and then you get advice through that real estate agent about the property that you're looking at. But the loan is just totally separate from the realtor's job.
Okay.
Because a loan officer has to go through your financial situation, your credit history, and then everything that you can afford to buy based on your income and credit history.
And credit. So credit is, that was what I was saying. Credit is important.
Yeah. So we do not involve into that process because it's totally a separate entity. I mean, the lending.
So now I've filled out filled out the application, got that back to you. We've got it going to the loan officer. We're waiting to hear back. So do you have to hear that I was approved for the loan before we go out, or do we immediately start going out?
No, I have to find out from the loan officer.
Okay.
I need to receive your loan approval letter from the lender, and based on what it shows on the paper, whether it is $100,000 or $1 million,
right?
That's
because I might want a house that's $200,000, and maybe my credit and everything the bank will only loan me $125,000.
Yes,
so that makes a difference.
That's why we have to wait until we get the final, the pre-approval letter gets to my email from the lender. Then we can go out and just start looking.
So we got
property.
the loan application, and then now we've got hopefully we've got our pre-approval letter.
Yes.
Okay, and then now we're ready to start.
We're ready
to
go out and look for a property.
And so how do you take me through that? Because I don't know nothing. I'm pretending as if I know nothing.
Well, I do ask you how many bedrooms and how many bathrooms, whether it is a single-family home, a townhouse, or a condominium, and in which zip code or neighborhood where you want to be. And sometimes parents have school preferences, and they say I have to buy, I need to buy in this school district, and then they give you a certain zip codes. Then you look in a certain area where they want to buy, and then you start going out and looking at a property. But in some cases, the amount of pre-approval that they have to purchase the home and the zip code or the area that they are giving you are not matching. So you have to really, bring them to the same page, where you are. Because you can't have a small amount of money and buying in a neighborhood where prices are higher than what you got.
What you can afford.
Yeah, what you can afford, or what you are approved for.
Okay, all right, good.
Those are the education that it takes.
So those are the types of education. Yes. So what about, I've heard things about sometimes people can be certified and get maybe discounts on the loans, or if they need a government loan, FHA loan. Do you counsel them or educate them on that, or is that someone else does that?
That one is a loan officer's job.
That's a loan officer's job.
Yeah, they do ask them to go through the training or an 8-hour course, and then get the certificate from that institute and give it to them. Then based on that. So
correct me if I am correct. A loan officer's job and a realtor's job, those are two distinct operations.
Yes.
Okay.
They
all
are.
right. That's
good.
They are. Now, a lot of people over the past 8 or 9 years just totally got out of the real estate business. They just couldn't take it. I guess the fear of not knowing what was going to happen, and it was just awful.
Yeah.
What has kept you in the real estate business? Because you didn't cut and run. You stuck with it.
No, I didn't, because I love the profession. This is a profession that I got committed to serve the community, and then I use a different kind of marketing technique, and I work only by referral.
Oh, talk about that. That's interesting.
Yeah, that is my unique selling proposition, because that is the way I show how much I care for my clients. So I give them full attention from the start to the end, or before even they start coming to be a buyer. I communicate with them before, while they are purchasing, and after they close. So the relationship is there, and I do each transaction, every client is going to get the same amount of attention from me. And I do the business not transactionally, but relational.
Wow.
And I try to
That's
meet.
a big difference.
Yeah, I try
That's a
to
big
meet
difference.
their emotional and transactional need at the same time.
So for the 16 years that you've been in real estate, you've always done it through referrals.
Yes.
That's really unique.
Yeah.
That is unique.
It's a unique selling proposition.
Yeah, that is a
and
unique.
Yeah.
And so that even endears you and makes you close. I mean, it's almost like when you finish selling a house, you've met a new friend.
Yeah,
That's what it
we've made
sounds like. It's not just totally business. I mean, it
No.
is business, but it's also you've met a new friend.
Yes, a new
You
friend.
mentioned community. So what types of things do you do in the community?
In the community, I mean, I support the Children Miracle Network.
The Children Miracle Network.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, in REMAX as a company participate in the Children Miracle Network, and every agent who is willing to participate on that one, from every transaction that we close, we support the Children Miracle Network hospital, and the hospital will use it
for. That's a
for.
good cause. That's a real good cause.
Yeah.
Early on in the introduction, I mentioned about you were a Diamond Club member, and you also were part of the $1 Million Club.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about how you got those honors?
Well, those comes with the amount of transaction. I mean, the number of transactions that you've done each year.
Okay.
They look at the 12 months production.
Okay.
The board,
Is
the
that
real estate
the $1
board.
million? Is that the
Yeah,
just
the $1
based on
million.
production?
Yeah, and then
Okay,
the other
and
one, the Diamond Club or
the same?
the Hall of Fame, comes with REMAX. Once you serve the company for a number of years and generate $1 million income.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned about the market is changing, and it has changed from the 8-9 years ago. What is making the market so different now?
Well, we used to have a lot of short sales and foreclosures in the past. I mean, I could say from 2006 all the way through 2011.
Okay.
We've been seeing a lot of short sales and foreclosures listings on the market, but right now all of those properties have been purchased by the investors in the area or primary, home purchasers. And right now we see all the regular properties on the market, which is the standard sale.
Oh, very good.
Not foreclosure or short sale.
Well, we're going to take a short break.
Okay.
And we'll be right back. So don't touch that dial.
We cannot approve the loan until your wife goes back to work. I'm sorry.
Housing discrimination isn't always obvious or straightforward, but it is against the law. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, protects your rights to equal opportunity in housing.
If you've experienced housing discrimination, HUD can help. They can pursue compensation for your injuries and protect your equal opportunity to housing free of discrimination.
Thank you for joining us. You are watching Rock Your Block with our special guest, Ms. Yetti Esatu, Realtor with REMAX Allegiance. I wanted to ask you a question about short sales. You mentioned that earlier, and that's something that I've never quite totally understood, because back in the day when I first bought a house, I mean, I never heard that term before. So can you explain what a short sale is?
A short sale is when a homeowner owe less than what the property was at the time. They are upside down.
Okay.
Let's say they purchased that property $500,000, but right now it's worth only $200,000.
Oh.
So
That's not good.
yeah, it is not good. So when we do a short sale at the time between 2006 up until maybe 2012, a bank has to approve the contract.
Okay, so you get the bank and the loan officer, I guess, back in, or is that just strictly through the bank?
No, it's the bank. The bank who gave
Goodbye,
the loan.
officer.
Yeah.
This is just with the bank.
Yeah.
Okay.
The bank who gave you
The loan.
The loan at the time you purchased the property back in the pick market.
Okay, so, could the bank theoretically say no, we don't want to do a short sale, or were they pretty much agreeable to do that?
No, it depends your situation. If you are the homeowner who are selling your property on a short sale, they have to evaluate the situation.
Okay.
That has to be acceptable to them in order to approve you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the bank could say
no.
we don't. They could say no
yeah,
to that
because it has to.
That's not a good. That's not a good situation to be in.
Yeah.
Thank God that we've kind of moved from that. And you said investors have come in and purchased the properties and everything. So that helped out.
Yeah.
Helped out a lot.
Yes.
So what about, have you ever been in situations, and of course I don't want any names or anything like that, but have you been in situations where a house was foreclosed upon, or either the bank didn't go along with the short sale? Have you been in situations like that where you've had to maybe try to help people find an apartment or a place to stay because you just weren't able to save the house?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's part of my marketing strategy.
Your
because
referral,
my referral
that,
comes into in play. It comes in this situation because I really have to help. I mean, the people comes first.
Right.
They come first, and then whenever they need something else because this one didn't work, I have to be there.
So it sounds like you are a little different than a lot of the realtors I know, because it's almost like after you leave the closing, you kind of leave that real estate agent. I mean, that's kind of it. I mean, they've sold a house, you got your house, you've got the keys and everything. You never maybe see or hear from them again. But it sounds like you keep in contact.
Oh yeah, definitely.
With your clients.
Yeah, my clients are becoming like a family member, and I contact with them.
Really nice.
And whenever something breaks down, they contact me, and I have to refer contractors, home inspector, painter, anything that they need. I am the source for my clients.
Wow.
That's the kind of relationship that I have with my clients.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really good. I like that.
Thank you.
Do you do listings more or buyers? And can you explain what that means?
Well, I do both, and the listing is, when a seller contact you to put the house on the market.
That's on the seller side.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, and then the buyer is when somebody wants to buy, so you have to represent them as a buyer agent and take them around to show them a property.
So can you have a relationship with the seller and the buyer? Can you do
That
both?
depends. Virginia allows you to be both buyer and seller agent.
So that's a
a
state specific type of
law. Yeah.
Okay, on that end.
Yes.
So do you do more of one type of whether it's selling or listing or buying?
No, I do both.
You do both.
Yeah, I do both because it's a referral-based business.
Right.
So sometimes people call for a family member that is looking to sell or looking to buy. So.
Do you do seminars or do you do workshops?
I've done a couple of times. Yeah.
How has that been? Tell me about that. How does that work? Could I call you up and say, hey, I'm working with a group of people at my church, say for instance, and we've got some newlyweds. We've got 15 newlywed couples, and they're thinking about purchasing. Can you come in and do a seminar for them? How would you work that?
I mean, that depends on my schedule, but I would love to educate and then make them feel like they're going to be a special purchasers or sellers to me, because that's what I believe in doing this business.
Are there special considerations that first-time home buyers need to think about, people that have never ever bought a home before?
Well, with the way I do this business, I always go out around different banks and different lenders, loan officers, and I talk to them if there's any incentive or anything special for first-time home buyers or second-time home buyer, investor, anybody, because I really want my clients to get those benefits.
Right. Yetti, talk to me a little bit about the closing process. What is that process like? Because that's very important as well.
Yeah, the closing process take place at the settlement company. Normally an attorney will be there, or a settlement agent, and then that happens, you know, when the document, every package is sent from the loan officer that approved them at the beginning. So they have to send that package to the settlement company, and that settlement company will sit down and go over the details about the whole responsibilities that the homeowner will take.
I used to work with a mortgage company. This has been many, many, many years ago, and there were times that a deal would fall apart at the closing table.
Yes.
Has that ever happened to you, or do you know of any one that has happened to do? How does that? What happens to cause that? Is it where maybe the bank didn't put the right paperwork together, or people just get there and they don't like each other? What happens in a case like that?
Not really, but it is a very sad situation when that happened. But it happens to a few people because the real estate agent did not really educate them, you know, what it takes to go through the process and get to the settlement table, because some of them, out of excitement, they go out there and just purchase a furniture, for example, on a credit. And then most lenders, on your credit, on your closing day, that same day, they probably pull your credit history, and then they see that the income to debt ratio has changed.
So they pull, so people are thinking that, oh, okay, I've been approved, I'm going to closing next month, so now I can go out and buy that new car.
Yes.
They don't realize that the closing agent or the bank is going to pull credit again.
Yes. I always make sure that my buyers, once they become approved, until they finish the whole process in closing, get the key, I just tell them, please do not go out there and buy something on a credit, car or furniture or anything else.
Because that could be something that, like, as you're talking, I'm thinking, you as the agent, a realtor, might not even know that they've done this. They may not even share that with you. So you're sitting at the closing table, not even aware that somebody just bought, a new car or a new boat.
Yeah, that's part of the education that they need to hear from their real estate agent.
Now, I'm going back a little bit to the FHA type loan. Does that loan have different requirements? Is it different requirements for FHA loan than it is for just a regular traditional loan?
Well, the loan itself, even though it's a little bit out of my area, but you have to purchase that property as an owner-occupant property. You can't buy an investment property with an FHA loan.
Okay, so that's
different.
for
owner-occupants.
And then the government is more involved. They get
Yes.
involved. Is that through what, FHA or federal housing?
Federal housing,
okay.
yeah.
So that's a different. And so you don't do a lot of FHA loans?
We do.
You do?
Yeah, a lot of them nowadays are FHA, and we have a few conventional loan, but that is just the banking.
Now, I heard you say earlier that you are licensed in, I think, D.C. and Virginia.
Yes.
So let's say that I live in California.
Yes.
And somebody refers me to you because all they know is that you're a realtor. They don't really know where you're licensed.
Yeah.
What would you tell me? Am I going to be disappointed when you tell me?
No, you will not be disappointed.
I would not be
with me.
So how are you going to keep me being disappointed? Because I live in California and I thought you could sell me a house.
It's okay, because with my unique selling proposition and marketing strategy, I network with everyone around the nation that uses the same value and marketing system. So there are about maybe 6,000 plus agents around the nation that uses the same marketing system, working by referral. So we have a referral database that we can exchange clients.
Okay,
and
so
refer,
you can.
I can refer you,
can
anywhere
refer
in the nation.
Anywhere in the nation. Okay, that's really
so
good.
So you will not be disappointed.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh,
That's good. Now, is there anything that you could share with us about what sellers need to be thinking about in 2016 as compared to, say, back in 2009 when we were going through all the craziness?
Yeah, the selling in 2009 was mostly short sale or foreclosure, and people were just abandoning the property and they didn't need that much work. And the buyers at the time, they knew that they have to do a lot of work to bring it up to a,
So when you say abandoned, you mean they were just leaving?
They leave, yeah. A lot of things are broken down, so it needs a lot of work. So the purchasers at the time, they knew that they have to do a lot of repair to make it livable.
Right. Do you have to do a lot of counseling where maybe people, they come in, they think, oh, my house is perfect, it's ready to go, and then you walk in and you see things that
Yes.
need to be done, and you have to be kind of cautious about that because people, I mean, they think this house is perfect. It may be perfect for them, but it may
Yes.
not sell.
Yes, that's part of our job description as a realtor.
Okay.
When we go inside the house just to see on a seller's home, we just have to make sure that everything is, you know, clean, staged, and painted, and all the upgrades. Especially nowadays, everyone wants to see a granite countertop with
granite
stainless steel
countertop.
appliances and hardwood floor and everything else. So all of that has to be in place
Factored
in
in,
order to
yeah.
get the top dollar.
Yeah, no, I can
So,
understand that.
yeah, recently I ran into a neighborhood, you know, most homes that are on the market at the time are fully upgraded, but that one house has everything original, but it was listed at the same price with the rest of them.
Oh, my.
So situation like that, I mean, the real estate agent who took that listing should advise those people.
That they're going to have to do some
They
work.
have to do some work, and if they don't know, you know, what kind of market we're in, I suggest any realtor to take them around the neighborhood and show them the other homes
other
that are
homes.
already updated.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
so-
Well, Yetti, we are just about out of time. So
Okay.
I want to thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
coming and for
much.
sharing with us. This
No
has
problem.
been
Thank
very
you so
enlightening.
much. It's an honor to be here.
Well, we have enjoyed sharing this segment with you as we learn more about the current state of the real estate industry. It is really quite comforting to know that we are in a rebounding mode. I think all of us can agree that things were looking pretty bad for a number of years, and we are thankful that the real estate market is alive and well. Thank you for watching Rock Your Block. I'm Tia Young, and we will see you next week. Have a safe week.